Welcome, precious souls. Another night in my happy space. So glad you're here. I've been talking a lot today. I did a lot of readings. So if my voice sounds a little crackly, that's why. Let's find out what you need to know tonight. We're going to tap into your higher self, your incredible future self, the one that knows the way. That aspect of you that has one foot in the higher planes and one foot close to you. Oh, wow, just flinging cards. Okay. Let's see what this is all about. Oh, there you go, guys. Sorry. I get a little excited. Let you see what comes out here. Beep, beep, little look out. Oh, there. Okay. This guy's still in the mix, is he? Okay. I guess they gave us an extra little card. Interesting. All right. So, can you see all these cards? I hope. I'm going to show you anyways, okay? We'll talk about all of them, but I just want you to see what we brought out here. Well, what your beautiful higher self brought out for you. Okay. Ready? Let's talk. So, the entire reading, that card that flew across the table, is about allowing yourself to see the world through the eyes of your inner child again. Okay, that's where the magic is. That's where we really, you ever notice kids are just, they really see things because they're not so preoccupied about what they're going to make for dinner or what they're going to be doing at work the next day or all this nonsense. They're just very aware, and the details their eyes catch and the questions that, get brought up in their little noggins are just, they're beautiful, right? It's so innocent. And it's like the whole reading is about allowing your inner child to kind of take the front seat and start asking questions like, I wonder why that does that, or I wonder what's around that next corner, and what will happen if I do this. And that's what this whole reading is about, is really seeing through the eyes of the innocence of your inner child. Okay, it's so cute how they do that. But you're closest to the divine as a child. You haven't been as weighed down by the burdens and the responsibilities and the preoccupations of life, right? So your challenge is to quit worrying so much about the future. It's not written yet. And only stress and anxiety comes from worrying about the future. That's all that there is, because it's not even written yet. It's in this moment that we write our future. So if you're too busy looking at the world through the filter of innocence and just curiosity and inquisitiveness and playfulness and wonder, you're not too worried about the future. Children never worried about the future, did they? We never did as kids. We would just live in the moment, and all we wanted to do was play and have fun and answer our questions and see what's next, right? So that's why I feel like your attention is being pulled to the present moment to really be in it, because when we look to the future, which isn't written, we're not giving the attention to the parts of our life in the now that write our future. Makes sense, I think. Okay. Subconsciously, you're realizing that where you are is not where you're meant to stay. It feels comfortable only in the sense that your ego is comfortable with the familiarity. Our egos don't like a lot of change. They like to know what's coming up next so that they can prepare and plan and be ready, and no big surprises, right? Because our ego tries to protect us, but unfortunately, the ego also operates out of past experiences, which are not what is in front of us. So that's where traumas can be replayed. It could slow us down, insecurities, all that gooky stuff, right? So our ego, our mind will say, oh yeah, but it's so comfy. We know exactly what tomorrow brings. But who wants to keep living tomorrow over and over and over again? Like, what is it, Groundhog Day, the movie? Or that's not what we're here for. We were meant to experience life like through the eyes of a child and through the playfulness of a child, to gain experience and to create and expand our imagination and our mind, because that's how we manifest. if we're always doing the same thing in the same spot, we're always going to manifest the same reality over and over. And then we're just living a recycled memory only with different faces on it, or non-playing characters in the background. um, you're aware that you're at a crossroads, and it's sometimes very intimidating, especially for the ego, right? It's scary to make a change and move on to something totally different, or to do something totally different, or to change the way that you would normally react or respond or maneuver. But it's a blessing when this comes up, okay? When you have a chance to break a cycle by doing something different than the generations before you did, or that you have previously in other years, or it's literally the chance to totally change your life and make it absolutely amazing, to step out of this place that you know you've outgrown. You know it's not where you're meant to stay. So you're aware that you're given this opportunity right now to start making different choices for yourself, and to move in a completely different um, phase of your life that is more fulfilling, it is more rewarding, and it's all new. And the same as I'm getting the analogy, like some people like to go to the same spot for a vacation every single year if they're a vacationer. But that's great for the first so many times, but then after a while, there's no mystery. It's all the same old. You know where to get the coffee first thing in the morning. But that's very convenient, but isn't an adventure anymore. No, you could be doing that anywhere, right? So it's about shaking things up. It's a time for change, because you're meant to evolve and become so much more than what you've been settling for, okay? Now, in the recent past, you became aware that just the way your basic being, the way that you act and carry yourself, and the words that you say and the actions you take, you are a mentor. There are eyes on you. Sometimes it's often little children. It's people around us that we love and care about that are learning through us, okay? Just by existing. And so you have to ask, what am I teaching them? What are they learning from me? Am I holding strong boundaries? Am I standing up for myself and advocating for myself? Am I staying stuck in ruts, showing that it doesn't matter as long as you just know what tomorrow brings? Am I reflecting the best life imaginable? Am I embracing change? Would I want my children to embrace change? Absolutely. It's it's showing the people and the children in our lives that it's okay to keep this adventure rolling. You don't have to adult so much that you're adulting right out of the innocence and the purity and the excitement and playfulness of life. It's a big, giant sandbox. We can build and do anything we want. We couldn't wait to be an adult, remember? And now here we are. We're adults. We get to call the shots. And what's the first thing we do? We throw ourselves under other people's thumbs who dictate to us or put burdens on us. And it's like, well, no, no, no. It's not going to fly. And that's why you're being called to break these cycles and start choosing you. How many years do we get to live in this life? We never know what tomorrow brings. So you live life to the fullest, no regrets, and see what's around that next corner like that innocent inner child of yours would want to. And in doing so, you will be setting a very good example to others, to the children, to the people in your life that, hey, you know what? It's okay to want to expand. That's why we're here, is to expand. And if your environment has grown too constricting, then it's time to move beyond this environment into open space and say, what else is available for me so I can continue to learn and grow and experience and make new memories. So in the near future, okay, should you choose to embrace life with this beautiful new innocence and stop worrying so much about the future and start creating the future in the now, you will be fully living in each moment, moment to moment, just as this person, step by step. You don't always know what tomorrow brings, but what a beautiful adventure. And you are actually being forced then to watch what's around you. It's all new. You're not just going to fly by the seat of your pants and go, I know that the coffee will automatically come on at 5 in the morning. I know that my newspaper or this will be here, or I'll be scrolling this time, or my TV show's here, or I know every Tuesday we eat Chinese food, or I don't even know. I don't know. Whatever this routine is. But when you break out of that and have this new sense of innocence and stop worrying about the future because you're creating it, You will be fully in the moment. And now I will say with me, I'm being called to share that with me, when I really started awakening, and it took so much trauma before I finally went, oh, and reached this point of this is not this is not even real. This illusion around me is like I've been a hamster in a wheel going round and round for years of my life, always drawing in the same experiences, and like something inside you goes, no, there's something more. And as I went into that adventure and I said, well, what will happen if I do choose to do this instead, or do something I actually enjoy? What's going to happen if I break out of this cage, right? And eventually, I actually free fell. I don't know to this day what tomorrow brings. I have no idea. I know I've got many people that would love to see me fail epically, as many as I'm sure there are those that really are cheering me on. There are those in the past that don't want to see me move beyond where they had me under their thumb. Always knowing my next move. But you know what? Free falling, I am so, it is so required that I watch everything in my present moment. I watch and I listen for signs because I'm trusting my team, my guidance system, and they always steer me in the right direction. Always, always, always. And so I don't get to take the lazy way and just go, I know what tomorrow brings, so I'm just going to sit here. I am very aware. I'm more alert than I've ever been each moment. Why is that number on the clock? Oh, I just noticed this. I'm noticing. And I'm like a child looking around going, wow, I never noticed all this before. And now I'm here and I'm living moment to moment my fullest life. And that's kind of what I'm trying to explain. And I was called to explain is in the near future, if you allow yourself to free fall and just trust, you're going to make it. It's going to even be better than you even imagined. But it's about living fully in each moment. If you're hungry, go eat. It doesn't have to be a certain time at night. It doesn't have to be a certain time in the day. You don't need the 3D matrix jobs. You can do whatever you want. And this is the illusion that we all are just now, starting to break through and follow our own inner child, our own journey. We can trust ourselves and our divine team to carry us to the next thing that we need to do. And it's always presented. And if there's a challenge, there's always the answer. It's always there, no matter what. I've been doing this alone for a while now, guys. I'm telling you, it is that easy. It is that easy, okay? And it's what we're meant to do. We weren't meant to walk the earth and be a slave to others. Do the animals pay tax for roaming? No. Do the animals have to beg for water or land to sleep on? No. This is all natural. This is all natural, okay? Living moment to moment and indulging and enjoying every experience. It's our free right. It's our birthright. Okay, back at it. Right now, you are going through a beautiful healing right now. You're starting to, I'm feeling like open up, allow yourself to be more vulnerable. And it's kind of raw at first. You're ripping the Band-Aid off and you're exposing it to the elements, to people around you. And for a long time, it was really hard to do that. It was cramping it in, right? Suppressing what we feel. It was never a good time to cry. It was never a good time to speak up for ourselves. We thought, we believed, we were taught. But now that you're doing it, you're starting to see that, hey, actually, this feels pretty good to get this off my chest. Hey, this feels pretty good to start advocating for myself. This feels really amazing to share my story. I had no idea there were so many others like me out there going through the same thing. This is the healing process. It's about going inside and saying, what was it that I believed about myself, that I kept myself in this state of the hamster on the wheel all these years? What was it that I believed that I did or didn't deserve? What is it about myself that I never felt worthy enough to do what I felt called to do, to allow myself the freedom to choose and maneuver in this world as I saw fit? What was it about myself, and where did that come from? And that's healing all these past beliefs and behaviors and ideas that other people have planted a seed in our mind at some point, right? Or we did by concluding as small children I must not be worthy enough unless I bring so much to the table, or if I'm productive, or if I have so much in my bank, or if I do, it's about breaking through those cycles. And right now you are healing. You are allowing that Band-Aid to come off and just going, actually, this feels pretty good. And allowing your inner child out to play because you're the adult. And it's safe now, little guy or girl. You can come out now. I call the shots and I've got your back. And being that parent to yourself that you always wished you had, or that caregiver, or so on and so forth, right? So your spirit guides are wanting you to really look at life in a whole new way, okay? The truth of the matter is, it's not about all of the things I just said. It is nothing like that. It's an illusion. That's enslavement to, take care of the elites, we'll call them, the people or the entities of this world that want to keep us trapped and believing these things, always, having our energy harvested over and over and over again to create the world that they want, okay? But it's not about that. And once you break free of that and you feel this sense of self, your true soul, living in this skin suit, and how free and how beautiful the experiences can be and how healing it can be, seeing that the lows were just as important as the highs. The difficult times were so important for us to get to the easier times. And that's because it's all about learning. We would never learn who we are truly without seeing who we weren't. And it's about almost taking away the pieces that aren't us and finding ourselves. It's not about becoming, but it's about unbecoming, to the point where we remember who we really are, which is so powerful, so radiant, so excited, so curious, so all these good things, these qualities. And that's embracing the dark and the light, embracing the challenges with the rewards, embracing every single aspect of life. And that is what brings it to a totality, a way that we can appreciate all. And that helps stimulate the gratitude that we need to express every day for every single thing. The tears, the joy, the lessons, everything we had to release, all of the traumas that we had to overcome. It's all part of why we came here, is to learn and to grow by unbecoming, okay? What you desire the most and what you're having a tricky time with is seeing that you're courageous enough to go through this next phase and step into this beautiful new rebirth, this new way of doing things, stepping into the unknown to create a better and a newer version of you, a newer timeline, a newer freedom, and really stepping in and advocating for yourself and appreciating all of the beauty that you are, okay? You need courage, but you have it. Do you see this this flower? The seed was dropped into, it's very hard to see. Sorry guys, I'm trying to find a way to make this easier for you to see. Oh my goodness. The flower, the seed was dropped into the crack of a rock, okay? So the odds are always seem to be stacked against us in everything, because that's what our human brain does. It goes, boy, that's going to be hard, I don't know. And we tend to talk ourselves out of things and stay in the comfort zone, right? But the seed was always destined to become this incredible flower, to reach its bloom, right? And at some point, we have to choose to allow ourselves to be receptive of what's being offered, the little drops of water that come in, the little tiny bits of light that come in, and step outside of our protective shell and allow that beautiful, raw, vulnerable inside of us to flow outward enough to grow and to reach more for the light, to reach more for the water, to reach for all of these elements that are always being offered, and have the strength to be vulnerable outside of the seed and allow ourselves to flower fully, step by step, right? And so you desire that, and that's all within you. It's within all of us. We are just a big old seed growing and learning, but until we go into the unknown and face that, how can we reach our full potential? We can always stay in the crack of the rock and just try to exist and survive, but that is not meeting our potential. And that's kind of a bit of squandering the time that we're granted here on this planet to do these wonderful things, to feel every emotion, to um, be on this adventure and see what's around the next corner. And what more can we learn? How many tools can we add to our tool belt, so to speak? So the key is to quit trying to control. And that's where fear comes from, right? When we feel like we're not in control, which we're not, we're really not. We're not in control to a degree. We are only in control of ourselves, how we respond. You know, in my life, I've learned how to be resourceful at times. I can take the things around me and say, okay, I could sit here and sulk and say, boy, this is a crummy hand I've been dealt at this time. And I could sit there and cry and sit in the corner and go, I might as well just not do anything then. Or I can look around and what am I being offered? And I've learned to create what I need or want out of what is available. And I might not just be going to some hardware store to buy something. For instance, I don't know, I'm trying to use an analogy. I may not be going to hardware to buy exactly the tool or the thing that I need, but if I look around me, there's always everything provided that if I put this together with this, and if I modify it, I can do this. I can put this with it. And I always end up with exactly what I need. And so I've carried that through life, whether I'm, able to go out and just buy something or pick it up. And instead, I've just gotten so used to it that if I don't feel like going out to buy something, I know how to put things together. And that's about expanding your mind. So in these challenging times is when we really learn to stretch our abilities and go, wait a minute, I don't know how to do that, but if I try, I might learn. And I've made mistakes, I've gotten messy, and I've had some fun doing it. But it's stepping outside of this, I need to control everything. It's about not trying to control your environment outside with the people around you through manipulation, or if you have an insecurity, just avoiding the feelings of the triggers that those insecurities bring and avoiding those events and stuff. It's about getting in there and learning how to instead control the feelings inside and healing the insecurities so you can always feel okay in those environments. It's about confronting these issues within, because when we feel like we need to control our outside environment, it means we're not trusting the guidance of life. We're not trusting the flow, that we feel vulnerable in somewhere, and that's in some way. And then we have to go in within and say, hey, inner child, what is it in us that makes us feel like we need to control the outside world? And we've forgotten that control starts from within, that we can allow ourselves to heal within and feel more in control of ourselves, and therefore more in control with everything around us. It's a byproduct. And it's about, once you have the control and the ability to control how you respond instead of react, you are in full control. You are, because you won't allow people to have an effect on you on the outside world. You won't allow experiences in the outside world to affect you. You choose how you respond. And that is where the most control you'll ever have in this world is starting within, and not allowing fear to stop you, not allowing the ego to stop you, insecurities to stop you, but instead confronting them and going, oh yeah, well, what if I wasn't fearful of that? What if I did make a mess and try it? What if I don't care how people judge me? What if I'm not going to take it personal how someone's having a bad day and having a meltdown in my face? What if I just say, that's not mine, it doesn't feel good, I will remove myself, instead of feeding into it or feeling like I have no control? It's about empowering yourself and realizing the only thing we really control is ourselves. And that's what it truly is. You are the main character going through life going, do I like this? Do I prefer this? No? Okay. Do I prefer this? Absolutely. Would I prefer that? Let me see. It's about just maneuvering and feeling in your heart, in your true deepest part of yourself, your soul, exactly what you want. Okay. And maneuvering yourself accordingly. The other card that they threw out is, somebody might be hoarding something, holding on to something, thinking that they need to, that it's almost their survival it would be so scary to let this go. But you're being, I think, challenged to say, let's look at that from a different angle. Are you holding on out of fear? Are you holding on to try to control anything that might be a reaction to letting it go? What are you not allowing new space for other things to come in? What is it you're holding on so much that it's actually holding you back? It's taking up space that is valuable space that you could offload and have freedom to move in more peace and pack light. You can move faster, move further, stretch more, do things more. um, Pack light. And that's not just outside of ourselves and our luggage and the clutter that we accumulate, but it's also about what's inside. And as you unpack the things that are heavy and weighing you down, the more you leave space inside for love, excitement, adventure, trust in yourself and in your divine team, because moment by moment you are freer to move when you're not completely congested or weighed down by the burdens of others. And it really is that easy. And I know your ego's not going to want to hear it, because mine certainly didn't. What? I've been responsible for bringing all of those things into my life. I have to hold accountability for all of it. Yes, you were never a mouse in the maze. No one's up laughing at you going, ha ha ha. It truly is, what's on the inside reflects our outside. And when we have a healthier idea of ourselves, perception, a healthier, open minded perception that maybe it's not always as I thought, maybe there's more to this story and I need to see all sides of it. Once you do that, you've got life exactly where you want it, and you are very mindful of how you respond. You're mindful about what you allow into your space. You're mindful about what you allow yourself to be weighed down, and who and what is doing that, and what we advocate for ourselves, how we speak up, and the burdens we release. It's so beautiful and it's so free. I really hope this helped, guys. If you feel called to have a reading that is more, this is a general reading, so if you need something more personalized and you want to meet with me online, you can email me at paintingsbycatherine@gmail.com. My subscribers of my YouTube channel, Earth Angel 3811, my all subscribers only pay $33 Canadian for readings, because it supports me. It gets my messages out to others. It's free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. As well, you can follow me on my Facebook page if you feel called to, which is Readings by Catherine. And heck, if you're bored and you want something neat to look at, I also have a Facebook page, Paintings by Catherine, which has a lot of my really old paintings. I haven't updated. I really need to update it again if you're just bored and want something to flip through. I'm so proud of you. I could see by this reading that you're truly being offered a gift to step into a brand new timeline where you are going to feel so free and learn to trust yourself and all of life, because you are honestly divinely guided every day, every second of every day. And it's always an option for us to choose to change in this moment and not be so fearful of the beautiful adventure that is meant to be life. And you've got this. So keep shining, guys. I'm sending so much love and light. Take care and be true to you. Follow your dreams, okay? Follow your dreams.